So today I want to talk about Korey Foreman, and look, he talked to the man Greg Biggins about what's going on with his recruiting and a little bit about college football and a little bit of hope. All that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about Korey Foreman, and I want to get there by first acknowledging there have been states that have decided to reopen business as a part of, hey, we're going to get you out of quarantine. If you can go back to work, go back to work. We're going to let you patronize these businesses. And that led the interim president at OU to announce that they will reopen campus in the fall for students at all three campuses. Now, what does that mean? It means that the first necessary move has been made for us to get college football at Owen Field, and I assume at most universities where football is a driving force in generating revenue, they're probably going to try to get back on this program. Now, whether or not we agree with the timeline is immaterial because we don't get to make those decisions, right? But that also would mean that we'd see more visits. That would mean that we would get back to something like business as normal, even as we have estimates of about 12% unemployment by the end of the year and about a $3.7 trillion deficit. So we are by no means in a good way, but getting back to being able to do anything other than what we have been doing has been great. And using the NFL draft as a trampoline would also be great because the NFL draft averaged 15.6 million viewers and saw a peak of 19.6 million viewers. That shatters the record set in 2014 of about 12.6 million viewers, up 37% from last year. We all wanted to watch it. It was very good. It was put on very well. Ohio State, LSU won the day. 5 draft picks from LSU. 2 of the top 3 draft picks went to Ohio State. And Alabama had 4 people drafted, 15 from the SEC in total, and 17 folks from other schools, right? Shout out to CeeDee Lamb going to Dallas Cowboys and my man Ken Murray Jr. going to Los Angeles Rams. Or Los Angeles Chargers, not the Rams. I also thought it was important to note that we had nary a word about money, right? And I thought that was going to be the bad look in all of this. When you have folks start talking about how much these kids are going to get paid to play football at a time when 26 million folks are unable to go to work, it was going to be a bad look. So I think there was a hard moratorium put on NFL reporters across all major networks. You will not report a dollar figure. You will not talk about the money that is going to be paid out when we get back to football. Tonight is about wrapping your arms around each other and enjoying this moment as much as we possibly can. And as I'm not really into the NFL draft like that, like I'm not really watching everybody's mock drafts because I do my own research and I live in this stuff and I've seen many of these kids play since they were 16 years old. I had fun last night, right? And I hope you did too. And I hope to see guys like Korey Foreman, Mason Smith in this NFL draft when it is time for them to go into the NFL draft, which leads me to segue. So at the bottom of the story that Greg Biggins wrote, I thought there was an important point that was made clear by Foreman, which is I do plan to play with Mason Smith, one of the top defensive tackles in this 2021 class and considered an LSU lean, right? So when I go look at what Biggins did, a really great story on 247sports.com about him, you're looking at the list of folks that he's entertaining, and LSU is on the list along with USC. Now, Mason Smith had said he planned to take a trip unofficially out to LA to go see his friend and buddy Korey Foreman, and we expect Foreman to really give Ed Orgeron a shot to try to win his services, and that be the top prospect in 247 Sports Composite. Now, as it pertains to Clemson, they're still in it, but Foreman went into some detail about not really understanding the no-trip policy. So when talking to Swinney, he said, look, I would like to take some visits, to which Swinney said, hey, over at Clemson, you got to decommit to do that. We don't allow commits to take other trips, other places, to take officials of any kind, to which it was kind of tense, and then Foreman was like, I kind of want to do this, and Swinney's like, cool, we'll still recruit you, we still want you, but this is what has to happen. So he reopens recruitment so he can take a look at places like LSU, USC, and even Clemson. But add this, Monkel Goodwin out of National Christian Academy in Fort Worth, Washington, got an offer from Clemson last Wednesday. So they are not by any means putting all their eggs in the basket that is Korey Foreman, even as that's the best player in this 2021 class, according to 247 Sports Composite, has a lot of Cam Jordan in him, 6'5", 265, and can move, right? One of these flat stomach dudes that's 265 pounds. It's weird. It's wrong. It's weird. It's wrong. He's very, very cool. And I am a tad bit jealous being 6'5", 265 pounds before I turned 18 years old. My goodness. Alabama's on the list. LSU, I mentioned. Georgia's on the list. Oregon's on the list. SC. You'll note, OU fans, not on the list. You know who's not on else is not on the list? Ohio State. Like, that was, yeah. He's not entertaining them at all right now. Now, he's got a long way to go in his recruiting, and he has no timetable set, as you would expect. First, you want things to reopen so that you could travel. And when you can travel, you want to take in as many visits as you can. I see this as an early signing day decision, right? I see it around that time, for which we'll find out what Korey Foreman decides to do. Clemson could very well be in the mix, but so would Alabama. Nick Saban was on the phone with recruits last night, just like Ryan Day was on the phone with recruits last night, letting them know this is what we do, this is who we are. I'm sure Ed Orgeron trying to get hold of Foreman if you didn't already. I also know that there's a clear delineation of teams that put defensive talent into the first round of the NFL draft. Take a look at the SEC, LSU, Auburn, Alabama. We could take a look right there and we know what we're getting, right? Blue Bloods. Clemson, new money, becoming a blue blood, right? They're able to put defensive talent into the NFL draft in the first round. And of course, Ohio State, who I mentioned. I find it fascinating that Foreman hasn't mentioned or entertained Ohio State. That might change, but they are still putting together a historically awesome recruiting class and challenging the 2010 Florida Gators for the best recruiting class according to the numbers in the rankings of all time. The number to hit is 324.63. Florida got there with 28 recruits. Ohio State would have to get there with 25. It's really on the table right now because even if you didn't get a guy like Foreman and you pick up Emeka Egbuka and JT Tuimoloau, you're going to have the top class. It's about how much closer you can get, right? To say nothing of there's still a number of kids out there with crystal balls and interest in heading to Ohio State. But not getting Foreman in there just makes it a little bit more easy for us to swallow that have, other teams that we root for. Like I made this joke before. Everybody's rooting for Washington to land Emeka Egbuka and JT Tuimoloau outside of Columbus, Ohio, because they've seen this embarrassment of riches. They understand just how cold this 21 class is going to be. And now they get more fuel to the fire with seeing not just 2 of the 3 recruits and or draftees in this 2020 class come from Ohio State, but they're both defensive. That doesn't really happen all that much, man. And then Ohio State is the first squad to have 3 consecutive top 5 picks on the defensive side of the ball. Nick Bosa, Denzel Ward, and of course, Chase Young or Jeff Okudah, depending on how you want to do it, right? It's that. And then you go back 2016, talk about Joey Bosa. So they know what they're doing. They know who they are. They know what they can do. If they don't pursue Foreman, I'd be shocked. But again, you got to want to go to school there. And right now, it just doesn't seem like that's the point. USC is the lean here. Vic So'oto, has been doing a great job. New defensive line coach. USC just got the job in February. Drake Jackson being a friend of Foreman's helps with that tremendously. Also, Jackson's dad coaches Foreman at Centennial on the defensive line. He's also very close with true freshman wide receiver Gary Bryant. So it works. Justin Flo, Kayvon Thibodeau also doing their work with Mario Cristobal to personally recruit him to Oregon. It's an interesting list. It's a great list. I can't wait to see what happens next in Korey Foreman's story. But if you like the videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to become a member, hey, memberships start at like 99 cents. All right? Most people pick 99 cents or the $4.99 a month just to make sure that this channel is not, a Zoom call with bad lighting like they had on ESPN for the NFL draft. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.